Hello out there, my name is Benjamin and I welcome you to the world of designing using Adobe Photoshop with Blabend solutions. So in this video and the series of videos to come, I will be showing you everything you need to know about Photoshop, starting rightly from the beginner's level, that is to say from the basic level to the advanced level. But before we begin, thank you so much for clicking this video. If you are new here, kindly comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check the bell icon so as to be notified whenever we release our new videos. With this being said and done, why don't you come along with me and I'll show you the best and easiest way to make beautiful design works using Adobe Photoshop. Thank you so much for joining me once again in today's lessons. In our previous lesson, we learned about the panels. We talked about the three active panels, that is the swatch, the adjustment, and the layers panel. We also talked that amongst these three active panels, the layer panel is the most important of them all. So if you are able to understand what layers are, how they work, and what they do, you are halfway through to understanding the Photoshop application. In today's video, we will be talking about how to insert image file onto our working canvas. Not image file alone, but how to also bring in PDFs into our working canvas to work with. After, we'll look at how to crop images as well. So let's begin. You realize that in our previous video I was working with images, and you ask yourself, how did this guy import this image onto the working application? How did he do that? It is nothing difficult. I'll take you through right now. And to do that, first of all, go to your file and click open. Okay, if after clicking open, browse through your file explorer to look out for the images that you want to import. So I'll quickly go to my pictures folder, and I have some pictures in here. So you can import as many images that you want. You can import as many images that you want. So you can select, let's say if I select one here, I can click open. If you want to multiple select more of the images, just hold down your control key and select, sorry, this one part, select, and I'm done selecting. So we can just click open, and we have our images loaded onto the Photoshop application. So that is the easiest way to bring in images to the Photoshop application. There are other ways to do that. We have other ways as well, and I will take you through all the other ways to do that. You could see that I created this canvas space in here, and I thought that importing the image would automatically insert the image in here, but it rather created a different tab on its own, and it has created a tab for itself here. That is not what I want. If this is also okay, if you need the image in here, what you have to do is make sure you are on the move tool and hold and drag this image. What is going on? Could not use the move tool because the layer is locked. Oh, could not move we can't move this layer because our layer is locked, and this is showing that it is locked. So to unlock it, just double tap the padlock or double tap anywhere, any portion of the layer, and click OK. Now it is unlocked. So now we can move the image. So to do that, just hold, drag, and notice what happens to your cursor. When you send your cursor in here, notice what happens. It automatically opens the tab for you, and the cursor turns to a box like plus So when it turns this way, just release the image and you have your image in here. So that is the image. So this is the image we have. Now you ask yourself, the canvas size is bigger than the image, so how do you make this image big? To enlarge this image, just press Ctrl T. That is the free transform. Ctrl T, that is a shortcut for the free transform. Or come to your edit tab in here and choose the free transform here like this. After clicking the free transform tool, you should be seeing something like this on your image. So now you can hold anywhere to increase the size of the image and increase the size of the image, and that is it about the free transform. Now notice one thing. You notice that, let me undo this. Ctrl Z to undo, Ctrl Z to undo, Ctrl Z to undo, Ctrl Z. What is happening? Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. What is happening? It is rather redoing the same thing over and over again. It undoes one thing and redoes the same thing, undoes one thing and redoes the same thing. Now Photoshop CS6 extended is a bit different in here with the when it comes to the undo command. With the undo command, to do multiple undo commands, you would have to add Alt to the Ctrl Z. So we have Ctrl Alt Z to do multiple undo. All right. I'm pressing Ctrl Alt Z and it's not working. Why? Because my free transform tool is on. So to make sure my free transform tool is off, click this correct or check icon in here, or hit enter on your keyboard, or select the move tool. Okay, so now I'm going to undo this. I'm going to do multiple undo this. So Ctrl Alt Z, and it has gone back to the size it was as I brought it in. Ctrl Z, let's move there. Ctrl Alt Z, it moves back. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. So that is for the multiple undo. Ctrl Alt Z. A single undo, Ctrl Z will do that for you. So you realize that we transformed the image, and after transforming the image, this is what we had. This is not the rightful proportion of the image, as in the image is distorted. To free transform an image so you don't distort the image, you would have to add the shift key to your transform. Whenever you are transforming it, add the shift key so you get a proportionate scale of the image. I'm going to duplicate this image. I'm going to duplicate the original image, and I'm going to do one without the shift key, and I'm going to do one with the shift key, so you see the difference in here. This is the original image. So to duplicate this image, right click the image, the layer here, right click and select duplicate layer, and we click OK, and we have this layer duplicated. So where is the duplicated layer? It is on top of the layer itself, so you can just hold and we drag this out this way. Look at something. I'm selecting this layer and I want to select this layer, and it's not moving unless I select this. I select its part here before I can move this layer. There's an option in here that can help us with easy or automatic selection of the layers, which is known as the auto select. So when you click this auto select, I don't need to come into the layer panel here to select the layer one after the other before I can move it. So take notice of what happens in here when I select this layer, when I select this layer, when I select this layer. That is the work of the auto select. You realize that when I uncheck this portion, the active layer that I am currently, when I try moving this layer, that is what moves. When I try moving this layer, it doesn't move, but rather it moves the active selected layer. So always make sure you keep your auto select layer on. Okay, checked, sorry. So let's do the free transform. So with the first one, go to edit free transform. Hold your shift key and scale it this like this, and I think this is okay. Let's send this here. Hit enter on your keyboard, and that is it. Let's work with this one. Free transform, go to image, edit, then choose free transform. Don't hold the shift key, just resize this like this. Resize this like this. When you're done, hit enter. Now I want you to take a very closer look at these two images. You can see that the first image without a shift key, it is distorted, and the second image with a shift key, it is scaled to a proportionate size. So that is the work of the shift key. So I urge you to always use the shift key for scaling to get a proportionate size of the actual object. Let's now move on to look at the other two ways of importing images onto the Photoshop application. So I'm going to uncheck this, I'm going to uncheck this, and the other two ways is I have my Explorer already selected. The other two ways is, first of all, I have my Explorer already selected. Come in here like this, hold the image that you want. I want this image, hold it this way, hold and drag it onto, and look out for the application, Photoshop application. Drag the image in here and drop it in here like this, and there you go. We've inserted the image onto the canvas size. With this, you can scale this directly. Hold your shift key, click and drag to have a proportionate size of the image without distorting it. Hit enter when you're done, and voila, this is what we have in here. Our image is ready. The other way to do that is to also come straight into the file. Now first with the first one, we went to Control O, that is the open, and we browse in for our files, and we brought in the file in. The other way is to go and click the place. Click on the place. It asks us to browse in for the image we want to import. Then we select the image and we click place, and we have the image placed in here for us. That is the three ways of importing image in here. Hit enter. Sorry about that. Hit enter, and that is the image we have in here. I would advise you not to go in for the original import. Don't go in for the import. Work with the open, place, and browse in for the image, hold and drag the image onto the Photoshop application. That is it for inserting images onto your Photoshop application. Let us move on to look at how to crop images. We have our image in here and we want to crop this image. Select your crop tool, which is here, which is the fourth tool in the toolbox. The crop tool, or the shortcut key, is C. That is the crop tool. If you can't see the crop tool in front and you can see any other tool, just right click on the toolbox and you, amongst the tool, choose crop tool among the tool. In here you can scale the cropping size to best suit whatever you like. So I want something like this. I want something like this. Yes, it is what I want. When you're done, hit enter, and there you go. I have my image cropped. Alternatively, let me undo that, Ctrl Z. Alternatively, if let's say you want to crop this image to, let's say 600 by 500 pixels, just come in here and type in 600 and move on to the other one and type in 500 pixels. Please remember to add the pixels, that is px. Okay, And when you're done, just hit enter, and we have our image cropped per your given dimensions. We have the rule of thirds in here. You can crop using grade. Using diagonal lines. So like you can choose any of this, but the default one is the rule of thirds. I'll urge you to leave everything as default as it is, and when you are done, just hit the enter key or just get the check button selected and click on the move tool, and we have our image cropped in here for you. Cropping is actually the process of removing portions of a photo to create focus or strengthen the composition. We use the crop tool to crop and straighten photos in Photoshop. That is basically what the crop tool does. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of today's video. I believe you learned something new in here. If you did, please do us the favor by hitting the subscribe button, and also make sure to check the bell icon to all, so as to be the first person to be notified whenever we drop in our next video. Until I come your way next time, do well to comment, as in do well to like and share the video as well. Also, let me know what you think about the video. If you have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comment box below, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Until I come your way next time, it is Blaben Solution, and see you in our next video.